Welcome back. In the previous video, we discussed the notion of increment. So now let's start with the angle of inclination. So I'll write up for you the angle of inclination. So the angle of inclination of a line that crosses the x-axis is the smallest counterclockwise angle from the x-axis to the line. Okay, so let me draw you an angle of inclination. Here is the x-axis, and here is alpha, and this is the angle of inclination, because the angle of inclination is measured counterclockwise from the x-axis. Okay, so there is a relationship between the slope m of a non-vertical line and the line's angle of inclination, and that is the tangent of the angle of inclination, so here is the alpha, equals the slope of the line. Well, if you are not familiar with trigonometric functions, we will discuss it later on, so don't worry. But to prove this, it's really easy. You need to sketch up a Cartesian coordinate system, for example with 2 points, P1 and, for example, P2. And here is the line P1, P2. And then you can see the increment in y. This is it. It's delta y. The increment in y, and the increment in x, that is delta x. And here is alpha. And from the definition of the tangent trigonometric function, you can actually prove this really easily, because the tangent of alpha equals delta y over delta x, that equals to m. So that's how we prove this little equation here. It's kind of really useful. Okay, so we can write an equation for a non-vertical straight line if we know its slope and the coordinates of one point, for example P1, with the coordinate pair x1, y1 on it. And if Pxy is any other point on this line, then we can use the 2 points P1 and P to compute the slope. For example, let me sketch up another Cartesian coordinate system. Here is P1 with a x1, y1 coordinate pair, and here is P xy. And here is the P1 P line, and then you can write up the slope as the m equals delta y over delta x, and the delta y, as you can see here, that this is y and this is y1, so the delta y equals y minus y1, because it equals to this line, and that's it. So y minus y1 over, you can see the increment in x here. This is x, and this is x1, so this is delta x, and it equals to x minus x1, and that is the slope with 2 points. And if you multiply both sides by x minus x1, you get m times x minus x1, that equals to y minus y1, and you can add y1 to both sides, and you get that y equals y1 plus m times x minus x1. And this is the equation that you call the point slope equation. Point slope equation. Now let's apply the point and slope equation in some cases. Now I just make some more space for myself. Okay. So, write an equation for the line through the point 2, 3, for example P1, with a slope of minus 3 over 2. Now you can see that this task is really easy because you need just to substitute your datas into the point slope equation. So let's do it. That y equals y1, that is 3, plus minus 3 over 2, because that is the slope, times x minus x1, and x1 is 2, so it's x minus 2. And that equals to 3 minus 3 over 2x plus 3. That is 6 minus 3 over 2x. And that is our equation. That is the line. So let's see a bit harder example. Write an equation for the line through -2, -1. So there is a point with -2, -1, and 3, 2. I mean 3, no P, 3, 4. And let's write the equation of the line that contains these 2 points. So we can actually calculate the slope from these 2 points. It's really easy. I'll show you how. Just we need a Cartesian coordinate system again. So this is -2, -1. So here is P1 and 3, 4. Here is P2, and the line looks like something like this. I mean the P1, P2 line. So writing the slope of this line is not hard. Why not? Because m equals to delta y over delta x. This is the definition, and we can easily calculate the delta y and the delta x, which is the increment in y. You can see here that is 4 minus -1. It's -1 here, so it's 4 minus -1 over 3, as you can see here, minus -2. So minus -2, and that is 5 over 5. So the slope of the line is 1. Now we got the slope and we got 2 points, and we can use this slope with either of the 2 given points in the point slope equation. We will substitute one of them, and we will get the same thing. Okay, so let's continue the solution here. Just apply, for example, I don't know, P2. We will use P2 and this slope. So y equals y1, which is 4 plus 1 times x minus 3. That is 4 plus x minus 3. That equals to x plus 1. So that is the solution. That y equals x plus 1. Actually, you can do it with P1 and you will also get the same thing, and it's not a coincidence anyway. Okay, so see you very soon.